now it's time for 3x3 Experiment by JCD. Comparing stories from ABC, CBS, and NBC. The never-ending 3x3.
The U.S. grabbed more gold today at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Lindsay Jacobellis won her second gold medal of the Games, finishing first alongside teammate Nick Baumgardner in the debut of mixed-gender team snowboard cross. In men's hockey, the U.S. beat Canada 4-2 in a game that will play a big role in determining who wins their pool and gets a bye to the quarterfinals. Checking on the medal count, the U.S. now ranks third behind Germany and Norway. CBS's Jamie Yuccas profiles an American who beat the competition and won a personal battle along the way.
If they gave out gold medals for unbridled enthusiasm, Jessie Diggins would have a boatload. Whether hiking or biking, in the kitchen or in the gym, she's a social media celebrity. Surprise! But that's what happens when you deliver one of the signature moments of the 2018 Winter Games.
Here comes Diggins! Here comes Diggins!
This week, Diggins did it again. An American record, a bronze medal, and that all-American smile. What does click in your head for you to be able to just push at the very last second?
I don't like having regrets. I hate the what-if game. And so I like crossing that finish line knowing that there was not one drop of energy that I held back.
Before she could walk, her parents toted her across the Minnesota landscape. Diggins dominated Minnesota's high school ski clubs, a multi-state champion with a relentless drive for perfection. But in her senior year, the drive became all-consuming. Diggins found herself in what she called a slow spiral.
I think I felt a lot of shame and guilt and denial about the eating disorder that I had.
I find it so interesting because I think there is this idea out there that athletes are immune to eating disorders because you need to fuel your body in order to perform. Mm-hmm. That's not true.
No, no one's immune to them.
Her family was there for her, and Mom Deb heard about the Emily program, where she received intensive therapy and treatment.
I needed to learn how to love myself again.
And she's become a dedicated ambassador for the program. Sounds like you learned a big lesson.
I did. I learned a lot about how to absorb stress and pressure and use very healthy tools. Maybe it's, video calling with my fiance and talking about the day. Maybe it's taking the dog for a walk. Maybe it's playing games with my teammates.
And at this medal ceremony, in typical fashion, Diggins danced, jumped for joy, and thanked her entire team, who she says helped carry her across the finish line. And more hardware is possible. The team sprint is next week. Jamie Yuccas, CBS News, Beijing.
Still ahead on the CBS Weekend News, the gift of love is not cheap on this Valentine's Day.
Out of Beijing and the scandals rocking the Winter Games, a 15-year-old star Russian figure skater, a favorite for individual gold, testing positive for a banned substance. The Court of Arbitration for Sport set to hold a video conference tomorrow to decide whether she can remain in China and compete. And the investigation involving USA snowboarding as more medals are handed out. ABC's Marcus Moore in China tonight.
Tonight, the drama in Beijing. Olympics officials promising to decide whether Russian skating phenom Kamila Valieva can take the ice in the women's singles competition by Monday, just 24 hours before the event begins. Our Alex Perche pressing Olympics officials about the timeline for a decision.
Given the time crunch here, are you confident that there will be a resolution to this by the 15th?
There will be a resolution of this specific case, which is whether suspension will be lifted or not. Yeah, I'm certain of that.
On Christmas Day, the 15-year-old phenom tested positive for a banned heart medication, which may help increase endurance. But it wasn't reported until after she helped the Russians win the gold in the team event over the U.S. The athletes from Russia could lose their medals, giving Team USA the gold. Russian athletes with a long history of cheating allegations already banned from competing under their country's flag because of a state-funded doping program during the 2014 Sochi Games. American figure skater Adam Rippon writing on Twitter, "The entire situation is heartbreaking. This young girl is just 15. She's a minor. The adults around her have completely failed her." The teen's coach denying the claims, saying she is, quote, innocent and clean. And tonight, the U.S. snowboard team, fresh off of a history-making gold medal win in the new mixed team cross event, facing a controversy of its own. Former Olympian Callan Chiluk-Sipsoff accusing head coach Peter Foley of sexual harassment, and former teammate Hagen Carney of repeatedly using a racial slur around her in 2014. Carney apologized on Instagram, saying that he used a racial slur once, quote, in a joking manner, and that it was utterly stupid and disgusting behavior. He said that he faced being let go from the U.S. team over that incident. Foley, meanwhile, has denied the sexual harassment allegations against him. He told the New York Times that they were surprising to him and that right now he's concentrating on supporting the athletes here at the Olympics. Whit.
Marcus Moore in Beijing tonight. Thank you. Finally tonight, America Strong, how a legally blind teenager fought to compete in the Beijing Paralympics.
Max Nelson has been skiing since first grade. The 17-year-old from Minnesota recently learned he will be competing on the U.S. Nordic ski team at the Paralympics in Beijing.
I thought they were joking. I was very excited.
Totally blind in his left eye, Max only has blurry tunnel vision in his right.
At the age of 2, I was diagnosed with an eye disease.
But that has never stopped him from pursuing his dreams. Here he is. In his first ski race, he's had more than 10 operations on his eyes.
Wow, that is icy.
He always skis with a guide who wears bright colors and has a small speaker on his back to warn Max about obstacles and turns.
I would describe him as indestructible.
Dave Bridges has been coaching Max for 6 years.
Max's spirit, he's got such a can-do attitude.
Giving him this poster for inspiration.
And every time I look at it, I'm like, I can do this. I'm not going to give up.
Max now set to compete for Team USA as the youngest person on their Paralympic Nordic ski team. But he's not stopping there.
I want to keep inspiring people. That would be the biggest dream of mine, just to inspire more people.
And you're well on your way, Max. Congratulations. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. I'll see you on GMA in the morning. Have a great night.
Super Bowl 56 kicks off tomorrow, and it's a homecoming of sorts. The first NFL championship was played at LA's Memorial Coliseum in 1967. Tomorrow, the big game takes place at the most expensive stadium ever built. CBS's Carter Evans is outside SoFi Stadium with more. Carter, good evening to you.
Good evening, Ouija. Temperatures tomorrow could be close to 90 degrees outside SoFi Stadium, and that would make it the hottest Super Bowl on record. Also heating up the action on the sports books.
The stakes are high, not only for the Bengals and Rams, but also for millions of Americans betting on the big game.
New customers can bet $5 and win $280 cash.
We're just now getting to a point where the majority of us who might want to bet on sports have access to that, and that's really exciting.
A new study by the American Gaming Association suggests a record 31.4 million Americans will wager an estimated $7.6 billion on the Super Bowl, up more than $3 billion from last year. Sports betting is now legal in at least 30 states.
You used to think of the bookie in the alley.
Yeah, it's a much more sophisticated model now. I think what we've seen is a lot of Americans who finally have access to legal sports betting closer to home are taking advantage of that opportunity.
Almost no one predicted this year's matchup in the most expensive stadium ever built, hosting its first Super Bowl. Right now, 76% of moneyline bets that don't involve a point spread are predicting the Bengals will win. But players on both teams say their focus is on the field.
Once the ball's kicked off, we're just going to go play the football game, try to get it done.
We've proven that if you underestimate us, we're going to beat you.
And it's not just diehard football fans placing bets on the game. People are betting on everything from the coin toss and the color of the Gatorade to the high-priced Super Bowl ads.
Alexa? But there are also real concerns this new rise in legal gambling could have a human cost and fuel even more gambling addictions. Ouija?
That is a lot on the line. Thank you so much, Carter Evans in Los Angeles.
Now to the record-breaking heat in the West as the Rams and Bengals prepare to take the field tomorrow in the Super Bowl. The kickoff temperature at California's SoFi Stadium expected to be in the lower 80s, well above normal for this time of year, and weather whiplash in the Northeast. Let's get to meteorologist Cheryl Scott from our Chicago station WLS. Cheryl, good evening. What can we expect?
Hi, Whit. Yes, unseasonably hot conditions continuing on the West Coast. Heat advisories in place continuing through Sunday for California, with highs expected back in the low to mid 80s.
You're trying to make a statement and it just looks dumb.